Here I have my completed magazine. All my files are in there. I have checked to make sure that all my links, and honestly, I am missing one link right here, but all these other images are in here. And so what we're going to do is we're going to package this InDesign document to send to a service bureau or to send to a printer. And what that means is we need to send them the InDesign file. We need to send them all of the fonts that we have used, not all the fonts on our computer, all the fonts that are in the document. We need to send them the images, and then we need to send them a set of instructions on what to do with it. And then also, generally speaking, we will send a PDF so that they have a reference, so that they have a proof that they can reference and see what it's supposed to look like. So once I've got this, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that my document is saved. So I'm going to go File, Save, and it is already saved because I just opened it up. And now we're going to do this. We're going to go File, Package. And we're packaging, we're putting it all together. It's exactly what it sounds like. You're packaging everything to send to somebody. So it opens up this package window. And number one, you're going to go through basically all these tabs on the side. It gives us the summary. It says you're sending the entire publication. 35 fonts have been used, 0 fonts are missing, 9 fonts are embedded, 0 are incomplete, and 2 are protected. Then it's telling me that I'm sending my links and images, 59 links, 0 modified, 1 missing. That's why there's a little warning triangle next to it. I can still save this. I can still package it knowing full well that that image is missing. It's just like when it gets to the printer, they're going to say, hey, we're missing an image. Can you send it to us? Or like in this case, I don't have a copy of the image, but the printer does. So they won't have a problem with it. And then it's telling me that my colors and inks, I've got 4 process color inks, that process colors, cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. I've got 1 spot color ink, which is a particular PMS color. And my CMS is on is my color management system. It's saying that I have 0 external plugins, and then it talks about like numbered documents, 1, opaque objects, blah, 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 blah. Then I can go to my font tab, and there, if I have problems, if I'm missing a font that I used, this is where it'll tell me. And this is where I go to my links and images, and I can find out specifically what image is missing. So if I go through here, it'll tell me like where it is. It tells me the colors that I'm using and the print settings, like what I have been printing to, printing it to a virtual printer, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera. And then external plugins is if you had anything additional that you had used in your document. So everything checks out. I have gone through this and I see that my fonts are there. I am aware of the 1 image that's missing, so I'm cool with that. So if I had an issue, I could say repair, but I don't want to because I know I'm fine. And so I'm going to package it. Now, when I hit package, it's going to say you have to make a folder, right? Because this is what I'm going to do. And this is what you are going to do when you send it to me. So what you're going to do is you're going to create a new folder, probably on your desktop or whatever. You're going to make a new folder, hit the new folder icon, and you're going to call it, let's say, Herd. For example, if this is yours, Gavin, you'd say Herd 2-page spread package. If your name isn't Herd, you wouldn't type in Herd. You type in.
Obviously you would. Everybody's last name is Herd.
Exactly. And now I've created the folder. That's just step 1. Now it's going into a folder. And you'll see that I've got some check marks here. Copy the fonts? Yes. Copy the graphics? Yes. Update the graphic links in the package? Yes. Make sure that it's all updated. We don't have to worry about the hyphenation. We don't have to worry about not hidden and non-printing content. And then the other 2, the InDesign markup language and include a PDF. Those are standard. You want to do that. And in fact, it says here, because they know you're sending it to somebody to print, it's going to automatically say high quality print. So, and if it doesn't, you want high quality print. So now that's all there. I can change the name. I don't need to, but if you, let's just say, for example, if the title of your document is something like insidemag.indd, like if you didn't put your name in the name of the document, you would want to put your name in the document so that your teacher or the service bureau knows whose is whose. So now I'm going to say package. And this warning box basically says, don't give your fonts away to people. But I don't care because it's fine if you're using it for a service provider, etc. So we can just say okay. And then it's going to tell you if you've got any problems. It's going to say, hey, remember on page 3, you've got a text block that has some extra text in it that you can't see, but it's still there. So if it's telling me that, I have overset on the pasteboard and on pages 10 and 11, that's fine. I don't mind. So I'm going to say okay. And it's going to say this document contains links to files. It's trying to do everything it can to tell you you've got a problem. I, however, don't care because I know what my problem is and it's fine. So I'm going to say okay. And then it's going to gurgle through and it's going to package the document. It could take several seconds, it could take a minute, depending on how complicated your document is. It probably won't, but you know. So I'm waiting for it to finish packaging it. Now this document has, as you saw, 50 something images, 16 different fonts, different colors and all that stuff. So it is going to take a hot minute to do it. And while that is cooking, I'm going to come over here to the desktop. And now if I look, here it is, the Herd 2-page spread package. I'm going to look inside. Here's my folder. It's got my document fonts. It's got my document links, which are going to spill out here in a second, and my InDesign document, as well as a PDF. Now you'll notice that because the last time we looked at, I made the PDF, you remember at the beginning of class, I made it with spreads. So it made spreads. Normally you do not send it like this. You don't send spreads to the service bureau, but it's fine for right now. So that's everything. Now, the other thing that you're probably going to want to do is you're going to want to send that to me. A lot of times when you're going to send it to the service bureau, we compress it, you know, and we can do that by just selecting, by just selecting the file and going File, Compress. And what that's going to do is instead of having a folder with all these other folders inside it, it turns it into a zip file. We're zipping it up. So in the good old days, Macs used to do .sit files and things like that, but now everybody just does zip. So, and this zip file is what you would copy up to Mr. T, or you could copy up the 2-page spread.